The acid that is produced inside the stomach, what happens is that it is going to kill any kind of bacteria or viruses or spores that are present inside the food. The enzymes help to break down the proteins and lipids. That is the chemical digestion that is going to take place. The mucus lining of the stomach protects the stomach from being eaten away by the HCl. And in case this mucus lining is eaten away by the HCl, then what happens? It leads to the problem of ulcer. It leads to the problem of wounds inside the stomach. This acid also, because it is a very strong acid, around pH 2 jo hai, it is present inside the gastric cavity. It inactivates the salivary amylase that is produced in the mouth. ठीक है, this low pH it denatures the proteins and then the proteolytic enzymes जो हैं वो क्या करते हैं, वो internal peptide bonds को break down करते हैं and it provides a pH at which the pepsinogen it will be active. ठीक है, ये तो हो गया हमारे पास stomach. The stomach can also do some absorption. A little bit of absorption takes place in the stomach. Some medicines जैसे कि aspirin है, water है, alcohol hai, these can be absorbed through the stomach by simple digestion. The digested bolus is now called chyme, and it leaves the stomach by passing through the other sphincter, which is known as the pyloric sphincter. Intestinal region is known as pylorus. ठीक है, तो ये पाइलोरिक स्फिंक्टर इस साइड पर है, पाइलोरिक स्फिंक्टर इस साइड पर है और यहाँ से फूड फिर थोड़ा थोड़ा करके निकाला जाता है and it takes about 3 to 4 hours to empty the stomach again. ठीक है, चलें जी. Next now, the chyme, it comes into the small intestine and the major part of absorption of food takes place in the small intestine. Okay, but before that, let us come to the role of the nervous system and the gastrin hormone in the secretion of gastric juice. About 2 to 3 liters of gastric juice is produced inside the stomach every day, but it is under the control of the nervous system. Okay, it is the nervous system, the chemical coordination system of the body, the hormone secretion system of the body that controls the secretions of the stomach. It depends upon the amount of food that you are taking. The hormones that regulate the secretion of the stomach, generally all of them, I will tell you the name. एक तो है gastrin that is produced in the stomach. Then in other regions of the digestive system, secretin है, gastric inhibitory polypeptide है, and cholecystokinin है. These have an impact on the pancreas, they have an impact on the liver, they have an impact in the small intestine also. Right. The sensations of taste and smell of food stimulate the receptors during the process of chewing and swallowing, and pleasant thoughts of food stimulate the centers with the medulla that infuses the gastric secretion. मजे ले लेके खाना खाते हैं जब, तो क्या होता है, आपका नर्वस सिस्टम स्टिमुलेट होता है और आपका स्टमक बहुत अच्छे से it gets ready to receive the food. Neural stimulation of the stomach mucosa results in the secretion of acetylcholine, okay, which simulates the secretory activity of both the parietal and the chief cells and secretion of gastrin. Acetylcholine, first of all, stimulates the first secretion of the gastric gland, and then gastrin, when it goes into the blood, it adds on into the stimulation of the other parts of the digestive system also. So these hormones, they are all working together to bring about the secretion of the digestive system. Next, अब हम आ जाते हैं towards the small intestine. Chyme is now passed into the small intestine. The major part of absorption takes place in the small intestine. The liver and pancreas help the small intestine to maximize absorption. How? By helping in the digestion. More enzymes are going to be produced from the pancreas, and the liver is going to provide materials to help in the digestion of lipids. The small intestine is broken down into 3 parts. इसके 3 हिस्से होते हैं small intestine के. Duodenum, ठीक है? Duodenum number 1. Duodenum के अंदर आपके पास कौन कौन सी secretions है, ये बहुत अच्छा लिखा हुआ है, इसी तरीके से इसको नोट करें. Duodenum में आपके पास bile है, which is produced in the liver but stored in the gallbladder. It enters through the bile duct. It enters the duodenum through the bile duct. It breaks down the fats under the impact of cholecystokinin. Cholecystokinin जो पीछे हार्मोन आपको मैंने बताया. The pancreas, it secretes the pancreatic juice. It reduces the acidity of the chyme. ये pancreas है, यहाँ पर ये pancreas है, ये liver है, ये gallbladder है. This is where the secretion is going to come from. ये pancreas है, it is going to pour its secretion into the. Now this is all going to come into the duodenum from the liver also and from the pancreas. They are going to come into the duodenum through one duct. A common duct है by which they are going to be poured into the duodenum. The pancreatic juice की जो secretion है, the pancreas की जो secretion है, that is known as the pancreatic juice. ठीक है. And pancreatic juice क्या करता है? Pancreatic juice changes the nature of the acidic food, and now again the food is going to be digested in an alkaline medium. The food will again be digested in alkaline medium in the intestine. दोबारा देखिए, mouth के अंदर alkaline medium है, stomach के अंदर एसिडिक मीडियम है, एंड इंटेस्टाइन के अंदर दोबारा से अल्कलाइन मीडियम आ गया है. ठीक है, अगेन अल्कलाइन मीडियम हमारे पास आ गया है. ठीक है, नाउ एंजाइम्स जो है दे विल बी वर्किंग इन द अल्कलाइन मीडियम. द सेकंड पार्ट इज द जेजुनम. नाउ दिस इज द डिओडेनम. ये देखिए, ये डिओडेनम है, थिक है, स्टमक की तरह, इट हैज लेयर्स प्रेजेंट इन इट. देन आपके पास नेक्स्ट पार्ट है जेजुनम, वेयर द मेजॉरिटी ऑफ एब्जॉर्प्शन टेक्स प्लेस. It has tiny finger-like projections which are called villi, which are lining it, and these villi, इनके ऊपर और भी थोड़ी-थोड़ी extensions हैं which are called the microvilli. और क्या करती हैं? They increase the absorption surface area of nutrients. ठीक है. Next आपके पास आ गया jejunum, and the last part that is connected to the large intestine, that is called the ileum. Duodenum, jejunum, ileum are the three parts of the digestion of the small intestine. ये डायग्राम आ जाती है लिखने के लिए. ठीक है. The small intestine पीछे ले जाती हूँ दोबारा से. The jejunum is where the majority of absorption takes place. It has tiny finger-like projections which are called villi lining it, which increases the surface area for what? For absorption of nutrients. Now, because most of the absorption has already taken place. ठीक है. यहाँ पर आपके पास ज्यादातर एब्जॉर्प्शन जो है वो क्या है बेटा? वो ऑलरेडी यहाँ पर हो चुकी हुई है. ठीक है. सो इधर अब हमारे पास क्या चीज है? अब इधर आपके पास जो नेक्स्ट है, आपके पास नेक्स्ट है. अभी हम सिर्फ स्ट्रक्चर्स को देख रहे हैं, फिर मैं आपको एंजाइम्स भी बताती हूँ. नाउ दिस इज द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द विलस. दिस इज द एक्सटेंशन of the villus that is present inside the small intestine. These are the microvilli which are going to increase the digestion of the food. ये क्वेश्चन आ जाता है लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन में. डायग्राम ऑफ विलस ड्रॉ करें, एब्जॉर्प्शन का प्रोसीजर जो है वो पूरा आपको बताना पड़ेगा. इससे ज्यादा बहुत ज्यादा आप लोगों को मैं इसलिए नहीं बताऊंगी बिकॉज इट विल नॉट बी पॉसिबल फॉर यू पीपल टू लर्न ऑल दिस. सो जो इजी चीजें हैं जस्ट वही चीजें आपको मैं बताऊंगी. ठीक है. दिस इज एपिथेलियल लाइनिंग of the villi. It is supplied by blood capillaries, and centrally it has a lacteal. Lacteal is actually the continuation of the lymphatic system. Absorption of food is going to take place through this structure. Okay. When we come to the enzymes that are present inside the digestive system, यहाँ पर देखिए microvilli. Each villi itself has tiny finger-like projections which are called microvilli, which further increase the surface area of digestion. This is going to increase the surface area of digestion. Microvilli कैसे हैं? ये देखिए, ये आपके पास ये microvilli. Villi के ऊपर भी you have microvilli present on top of them. ठीक है. And these are going to increase the surface area of digestion to a very large extent. Okay, right. The ileum is the last part of the small intestine, and it has fewer villi, and basically it compacts the leftovers and passes them into the cecum, which is the first part of the large intestine. Ileum का main काम क्या है? Ileum का main काम है passing the food into the cecum, passing the food into the larger into the large intestine. ठीक है. Acha, I have a question over here. After the surgical removal of an infected gallbladder, a person must be especially careful to restrict his or her intake of starch, fat, sugar और protein. बेटा enzymes की तरफ अभी मैंने आना है. अभी मैं आपको only structures बता रही हूँ. Yes, you have to control your intake of food, especially the intake of fats, because fats are going to be broken down by the bile. And when the gallbladder has been removed to bile as it is, वो secrete नहीं हो रहा है and emulsification of fats का काम नहीं हो रहा है. इन structures के बाद we will come to the enzymes, और enzymes का फिर मैं आप लोगों को बताऊंगी. अभी मैं सिर्फ आप लोगों को structures बता रही हूँ. ठीक है, इसके बाद हम enzymes की तरफ आते हैं and जल्दी जल्दी आपको मैं enzymes के बारे में जो है आपको मैं बताऊंगी फिर. Right. The last part of the small intestine is the ileum, which has fewer villi and basically compacts a leftover to pass through the cecum and then into the large intestine. Now, inside the large intestine, no digestion is going to take place. Absorption of water. Now, this is the ascending colon, this is the transverse colon, this is the descending colon, this is the rectum, appendix है, ठीक है, ये सीकम है जहां पर सेल्यूलोज डाइजेस्टिंग बैक्टीरिया रहता है और इसके अंदर एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ वाटर हो जाता है. अगर इन्फ्लेमेशन ऑफ द लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन टेक्स प्लेस तो क्या होता है, पेट खराब हो जाता है, फिर डायरिया हो जाता है. बिकॉज द मेन फंक्शन ऑफ द लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन इज टू एब्जॉर्ब वाटर, then it produces some vitamins from it, ठीक है, and by the help of some useful bacteria that are present inside the large intestine. यहाँ पर large bacteria, कुछ useful bacteria present हैं, which help in the production of specific vitamins which are absorbed into the body. ठीक है, then it helps to जो है वो absorb extra water into the body also. ठीक है, the leftover food, the waste food is compacted and stored at the end of the large intestine, that is called the rectum. Rectum आपकी लाइफ के शुरू के first 2 years में अमूमन the rectum is not under control. The rectal muscles जो हैं वो under control नहीं हैं. लेकिन क्या होता है कि as इनकी ट्रेनिंग स्टार्ट हो जाती है तो आप rectum muscle को जो है आप उसको कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं. Rectum के अंदर different shapes of anal sphincters are present, and these anal sphincters, they are under your own control. ठीक है. Function of appendix is not a functional organ of our body. Appendix is a vestigial organ. Vestigial organ का मतलब ये है कि now in our body, in our life now, these organs, they do not play a very important role, like our earlobe, our last molars, these are also vestigial organs. Appendix is also vestigial organs. It does not have any proper function. If the appendix is removed from our body, कोई मसला नहीं होगा, because it doesn't play an important function in the process of digestion. ठीक होगी बात. अच्छा जी, ये स्ट्रक्चर्स हम कर लें. नेक्स्ट अब इसके बाद में आपको जो हार्मोन्स हैं वो मैं स्टार्ट करवा देती हूँ. ठीक है, जिसमें अब मेनली वी हैव डिस्कस्ड द हार्मोन्स दैट आर प्रेजेंट इनसाइड द स्टमक. नाउ वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग द हार्मोन्स दैट आर सीक्रेटेड फ्रॉम द पैंक्रियास एंड फ्रॉम द डाइजेस्टिव द लिवर.